So you know you're in for a hell of a reading session when you whap out these bad boys. Hell yeah. There is an entire world of reader gadgets and technology that just isn't really talked about here on BookTube. I did do a video last December talking about some reader gifts that covered some of these items, but today I thought we could do some more. So I bought a bunch of weird reader items from Amazon and one from Etsy, and I thought today we could look at them and I could let you know which ones are worth picking up or not. First up, we have a light panel. Now I must say the box for this is not giving me a whole lot of hope. This looks like it's from the early 2000s or 90s in design. This is going to be interesting. Now there are a ton of different lights and things like that for reading. Obviously it's probably one of the more common gifts or common reader technology is just being able to read your book in different kinds of lighting. But what I thought was really unique about this one is it's a light panel that you put over your book and it lights up the entire page, which is not something I'd seen before. I was looking for things for this video. Okay. First thoughts, has it got a screen on it? It had a plastic cover and it's still dirty. Okay, so we got some batteries. I gave a wipe down. There is still some marks on the plastic that doesn't seem to be coming off, which is not a particularly good sign, but we'll try it with it, see how it is. The whole idea is if you're reading this and it's dark or late night, you can slide this over the book and it would light up the page. It's not bad. I'm not sure this works any better than a normal light. A nearby lamp or something. I'm not sure this would be any better. I will also note that this is quite small. It would probably fit paperbacks, but me using this on a hardback, it doesn't even cover the entire text. It's not bad. Again, I'm not sure if I would pick this over a normal light. The upside to this is the fact that it's easier to probably slide between the pages as you're turning the pages, whereas a light that's stuck on the end of the book, sometimes you need to unclip it, flick the page over, clip it back on. So it does have that over it. The downsides are the marks on the plastic don't seem to really come off very well. And also, it only really fits paperbacks. It wouldn't really fit larger books. But again, it doesn't need to fit it for it to light it up. It makes done it. It's a cool idea. In execution, there's issues. And you're at the point where, wouldn't it just be better with a light? Talking about lights, this is a bit of a weird one for sort of technology or gadget type situation, but it does fit well in with the sort of the gift idea, and that is a book lamp. So this is quite cool. I like the look of this. USB cable and the book lamp itself, and this is RGB, so you can change the colors of it, which is really cool. I was thinking either kind of like a reading corner, this would look really nice, or even I guess in the background of a video if you make videos, or just something for the shelf. I think just to make your shelves kind of stand out a bit. And to be fair, it does look like a book, which is really cool and unexpected. I thought it would come kind of folded out like the image shows it. But no, it actually comes and it looks like a book. So good for storage as well. Oh, okay, this is cool, this is cool. So it only turns on when you open it. So this is it off. That's really cool. Okay, I quite like that. That's a good idea. It's not staying flat very easily. It changes color. It's orange now. And it comes with charge, which is unusual. Most of these things you get them, you have to plug them in. Okay, I like this a lot. This is... I was worried it was going to have to be plugged in for constant use, but no, this is... You could move this about and have it sitting on a desk or somewhere else, and then you can click it shut, carry it with you. I'm not sure it's bright enough to read by, so it's not really a reading light. It's more of a decorative thing. But yeah, I like this a lot. And you can change the color. Nice. Okay, so it doesn't look particularly bright when I'm sitting here, but I've got a big studio light and everything pointed at me. But if you were reading this just kind of in a reading corner or in your room, this would look really cool. This is clearly wood, and it's decent product quality material. That's the word I'm looking for. It's good material. It's got a magnet that keeps it closed, and then you just pull it open, and each time it kind of shuffles on a different light. Now, if you watched the video last December of reader gifts, I did include this Nessie bookmark, which is just ridiculous, but a lot of people really like the Nessie bookmark, and I really like the Nessie bookmark. So I thought, new video, I need to find another weird bookmark to include in this video, and oh boy, did I find one. This is the weird mix of, oh, it's kind of cute, to, oh, yeah, that's actually kind of creepy. We have Reading Lamp Man. It's like a little person, and his eyes are the light, and he sits and holds your book, and that looks nice, but you see the little promotional image there? Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. So let's try it out. He's on. Oh, that's so weird. It's all rubbery and... yeah, there we go. So it's, he can bend the torso and his arms. So he's meant to hold your book. That's so creepy. I don't know how you charge this. I think you have to unscrew the back of his head to get the battery in, but luckily it does have some charge already in it. Oh, that's so creepy. So say you have some really good taste in literature, and you're sitting and you're wanting to read it late at night, and get your little creepy dude, hold the page open. That, I'm sorry, but that would be so off-putting. It's so creepy, but it actually works quite well. It does just kind of sit there quite nicely, and it's quite thick, so it doesn't matter if you're reading quite a big book, he would be able to kind of bend his body a wee bit because it is rubber to look around. And the light's not bad too. The lighting is pretty strong. Because it's a bookmark and a light, it does get bonus points. And it is super creepy. I don't know how I feel about that. If you're sitting reading and this guy is sitting reading with you. So if you're looking for a reading buddy, and you also need a lamp, and you also need a bookmark, apparently that all can be resolved with one thing. Okay, next one up, we have this. Again, the packaging doesn't look good. It makes me worried. 2 hands can be used. Wow. So I think the whole idea of this is it's a magnifying glass as well as a light that lets you read with both your hands and not have to worry about a lamp in any way. Got lots of instructions. Oh no. What the hell am I doing? Okay, well, first of all, the magnifying glasses do not work particularly well. I wouldn't say this is particularly comfortable either. The light works fine. Let me see, maybe the glasses work better when... oh, no, it does kind of... ooh, it kind of hurts my eyes a bit, but how this works, if you kind of focus, if you change the focus of your eyes, it fits. Oh, yeah, okay, and it does make the text quite a bit bigger. Wow, this actually works quite well. Oh, man, moving between pages hurts. Okay, I feel pretty mixed on this because it works well. It works surprisingly well because it does make the text quite a bit bigger. Look how big my eyes look. So if you want to read really close to your face, then you want the bigger lenses, I guess. Whereas if you're reading further away, you want the thinner for the different focal lengths. That makes sense. I do like the idea of this, and I do think for some people who perhaps struggle to read because of small text, this might work really, really well. As a style choice, I'm not sure I'd read in public with these. However, it works well. My only complaint is because it's such a fine piece of focal length, as soon as you change page or you look somewhere else, it throws off your entire vision, and it's really strange and kind of hurts my eyes a bit even just to move to the other page. But as soon as your eyes refocus again, it works really, really well. So you know you're in for a hell of a reading session when you whap out these bad boys. Hell yeah. That's it's a choice. Moving swiftly on to something kind of related, but perhaps more typical and less terrifying for anyone who walks in on you reading. We have a magnifier that you can actually sit on top of your book. And I think it comes with a light too. Okay, so the idea of this is very similar to the light panel, but also the magnifying glasses, kind of mixed between the two. So it does make the text look bigger, but also has behind lighting that lights up the entire thing. It is kind of phone sized, and it means you can move it across. So I guess it doesn't matter how big the book is. If you're reading paperback or hardback, you're kind of moving it anyway. I do like that it comes with this arm. It means you can hold it at any kind of angle you want. And you hold it out like that, or you can bring it right in. I think that's just clearly someone who's tried it out and tested it and thought, this makes more sense to have that freedom of movement and way of holding it, even in between. You kind of got like different bits to hold it at. I like that. Also just feels more robust. The plastic magnifying glass screen is a lot cleaner and doesn't mark as easily as the other one looks like it did. This is definitely a big improvement on the other design. My only complaint with this is I do think holding this would be impractical, because if you're sitting reading, you actually need to sit and hold that with your other hand. It just is another thing to hold. So unless you're lying it flat on your knee, that definitely helps. So if you saw some of the other ones and thought, I like the idea, but I'm not wanting to buy that, this is potentially an option. I do think this is pretty good for someone who perhaps, again, doesn't like smaller text and they prefer to have a more magnified look, but also wants a reading light. Only complaint is sitting up with it would be a bit of a nightmare. So if you're reading with things on your knee, definitely an option. Next up, we have a neck light. So you just put it around your neck and then you can turn on these bits separately, which is interesting. And they go pretty bright, to be fair. I do wonder how close a book needs to... No, it works well. It works pretty well. They're pretty strong lights. It is hands-free. So it doesn't really matter where you're reading or how you're reading. These are pretty flexible for where you want your light pointed to. The other feature is, in fact, that you can change the warmth of the light. There's a button on the back of the little plastic, I was going to say headset, but it's not actually on your head, that changes the color. So you have white, a cooler light, and a warmer light, which I quite like. I do think it's weird that you can have one side on and one side off, but more customizability, I guess. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It is charged by, I think that's USB-C. I think it's a pretty solid choice for reading with a light, because it means you're not going to have to clip on the top and unclip it to flick the page over. This might be one of the most accessible and just well-designed lights. It might look a bit strange. Someone walks in and you're sitting there like some sort of alien. But from a practical level, very practical. And last, but most certainly not least, what could be my favorite item of the lot. In fact, it is my favorite item of the lot, although I will say I like the lamp a lot. Dragon book holder. This is sick. I love this so much. Let's see if I can slide these along enough that I can fit down the shelf. So the whole idea of this is it's a book holder that can hold a single book, and it's in the shape of a dragon reading a book. This is just 3D printed. Okay, I already see an issue. Empire of Silence is too thick for this. So it needs to be a fairly skinny book. There is also a lot of sharp edges, so I would be careful if you do get something like this that doesn't damage any book. You would need a thinner book. Does Harbinger fit? Harbinger just fits. However, if you find a book that fits, that's very cool. I do really like how that looks. What I will say is I'm not going to link to this one, because I bought this for £20, something like that. And then I saw one on Vinted for 10. And I was so mad. It is just 3D printed plastic, so £20 is very expensive for what it is. However, there are a ton over on Etsy and I apparently Vinted. So if you do want something like this, I do recommend kind of looking about before you buy one, because it is just very standard plastic. But I do really like the design of having the wings holding the book. I think just kind of, if you want your shelves to look a wee bit different, kind of stand out a bit, or you have a reading room or something, that would look awesome. Especially if you have a dragon book, that would just look really, really cool. I'm definitely going to find somewhere. I might put it there instead of that stack of books and just kind of find a book to sit on it, because that is very cool. And again, it's just something a little bit different, especially if you're looking for a gift for a fantasy reader. This would work really well. The other option is you could also have it on a bedside table to hold like your current read. Again, the slot is only so big, so some books won't fit. Apparently Empire of Silence is too big. However, it would pretty much fit every paperback as long as it's flat on a table. It would fit any paperback really, and it does look really, really cool. So yeah, this is definitely one I would say I would recommend. I do like this one. I think this and the book lamp are the two that I really, really like. This one really surprised me the most with how much I like it and how good it looks. But this one is definitely being used as well. I do really like this. Just going to put it there with holding a book. Maybe a Harbinger. Let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite and if you plan on picking any up. And also if you've seen any gadgets or bookmarks or weird things that you think would be really good, let me know in the comments below, because I might make a third one. There's a lot of weird reader stuff out there. There's so much weird stuff. But thank you very much for watching. Outro. Oh, I'm still recording a video. I got completely distracted. I'm making jokes with these.